This is problem 6.08 from End of Chapter Problems from Chapter 6 of the CFA Institute textbook, Corporate Finance, A Practical Approach. And 6.08 concerns share buybacks, and that's where the company takes its, either uses idle cash, which is what it says in this problem, to buy back its own shares of stock, or it could otherwise go borrow the money and use that to buy it back. So they can either trade existing assets, such as cash, or they can go raise more cash by borrowing the money. And depending on how they actually raise the money to buy the shares back, that affects earnings per share and share price. All right, so let's look at what we got. The shares outstanding, they have 1 million shares outstanding before the share buyback, and the earnings or the net income is $2 million. Okay, and the share price today is $50 a share, and what they're going to spend is $10 million to buy the shares back. Okay, so they're going to take this out of the checking account, which won't affect earnings, and until they buy the shares back, it's not going to affect shares, and we'll see what happens. We don't have enough information to say what will happen to the share price. Okay, so the number of shares to buy back, $10 million divided by $50 per share, that'll buy you 200,000 shares. So before they buy them back, they had 1 million shares. After they buy them back, they're only going to have 800,000 shares. The earnings per share before the buyback, $2 million of earnings, 1 million shares, that's $2 earnings per share. And the price earnings ratio would be $50 divided by $2 earnings per share. That'll give us a price earnings ratio of 25. All right, so after they buy back their 200,000 shares of stock, $10 million to buy it back, $50 per share, that'll buy back 200,000 shares. That doesn't affect earnings one iota, okay? So earnings would still be $2 million, but now your earnings per share, there's only 800,000 shares, and so now your earnings per share went to $2.50. You know, if the price earnings ratio didn't change, all right, if we assume all else stays constant, the benefit from this would be that the share price would actually go up to $62.50. Okay, but really the problem asks us what happens to earnings per share. And we can see here earnings per share went from $2 to $2.50. The same $2 million simply divided by fewer shares of stock. The answer is C, $2.50 is the new earnings per share.